Thanks so much for joining us, Jordan.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Now, you're an ambassador for the National Park Foundation. And what made you want to get involved in Find Your Park?
I think that our country, our world in general, is littered with the most beautiful gems that tend to be untouched. And I think that the National Park Foundation is a fantastic way of learning about what those gems are. There are hundreds of them all over the country, and in most cases in a lot of people's backyards, and they're free. They're free to access, they're free to love and to take care of and to make new memories in. And I wanted to be a part of kind of inspiring people to hopefully get out and explore their city, explore their country in some way, and maybe learn about things that they didn't know about, and find out things that they didn't know that they enjoyed.
Yeah, I think it's so cool that you're doing this. And you recently visited Alexander Hamilton's New York City home. And especially since you were in the hit Hamilton musical, how was that experience?
Oh man, Hamilton Grange is unbelievable. It's uptown, and it's an incredible little tidbit about that house. The house has been moved a few different times. It's literally been picked up from its foundation and moved to a couple of different locations. And its new home is it's gorgeous and just so rich in culture and in history. And it's one of the many parks in the country that has that element of being able to learn a lot about what kind of the cultivation of our country was. And it's just beautiful to be able to walk the halls that he envisioned and imagined and made a reality. It was amazing.
Yeah, especially with you being on the musical and making that connection. It is very beautiful, like you said. Now, if someone says to you, parks aren't for me, what would you say to them?
I'd say that you haven't been to your park yet. I'd say that you it's a fine wine, I think that it's a matter of figuring out what it is that you like, what it is that you search for in parks. I mean, are you more into aquatics? There are parks that have a lot to do with that. For example, I just recently visited the Channel Parks off the coast of the Channel Islands off the coast of LA, and you feel truly like you are on an island in the middle of the Pacific. Maybe that's more your speed. Maybe you want to camp, maybe you want to swim, maybe you want to hike, maybe you're into photography. I think that if you feel like parks aren't for you, you just haven't been to the right one yet.
So true. Now, in your ideal world, where would you visit for your park, like your next situation?
Man, I haven't visited Yosemite yet, and I think that that's a bit of a crime. That's something that I wanna to dive into for sure.
Thanks so much for joining us, Jordan Fisher.